Hi, thanks for having me. Hopefully some people have heard of Let's Encrypt before, but we're a certificate authority. Thank you. We issue the digital TLS certificates that websites need in order to enable HTTPS. And our goal is just to create a more secure and privacy-respecting internet. So one of the first things Jim mentioned is that our service is free. That's probably the most well-known thing about our service. But what might not be so well known is the reason why it's free, or the reasons. So it's not just the issue of affordability about whether someone can actually afford to pay a certain amount for a certificate. It's really a lot about removing the friction of needing to make any kind of recurring payment of any size. We want there to just be no reason to not get a certificate. No need to find a credit card, no need to get permission to pay. We don't have to cut you off if your credit card expires. That is really important. Everyone needs to get these certs. We don't want any friction. It's also about making sure that we can provide service everywhere in the world, regardless of our ability to engage in financial transactions in any particular place. We're also open. We're based on open standards, our software is open source, and there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, trust is what makes this whole thing work. And relying as much as possible on open source and open standards is a way to let people understand how our systems work. It also matters because open source and open standards lead to better quality outcomes. I got 5 minutes here. I'm not going to get into the reasons for that, but I think the people in this room are probably on board with that idea or that dynamic. It does lead to better quality outcomes. Our service is fully automated, and we do this for a few different reasons. First, we need to serve many millions of subscribers efficiently on a modest budget, modest amount of staff, and automation is the only way to make this work. The second reason is that automated systems are easier to use. When you're trying to deliver security technologies at scale, ease of use is just critical. People don't want to think about certificates. They shouldn't have to think about certificates. We're just going to let the computers take care of it. Finally, automated systems are just more reliable and secure. Computers are really good at reliably performing repetitive tasks. People are not, and we make fewer mistakes when we automate everything we can. So over the past 10 years, we've gone from no certificates per day to about 7 million certificates per day right now, serving more than 600 million websites, and that number is continuing to grow. I can remember back in 2020, we were thinking a lot about what is it going to take for us to serve 1 billion websites. That day is coming fast, and we're going to be ready. This is what really matters, though, not just what we're doing internally, but what is the effect that we're having. So, it's not just us doing this. There are a lot of other great people and organizations working on this problem. But in the US, the HTTPS, it's hit 90%. Globally, it's a bit over 80%. Compared to 2015 when we started, these are really fantastic numbers. A lot of people are safer today. Compared to where we want to be, there's work left to do. Like with many things, the last bit of the work is the hardest. Getting the remaining traffic to HTTPS is not going to be easy. There's not always a clear path for that, but we're going to figure it out. We were able to do a lot of our work with generous support from AWS. They've helped us set up CT logs that support the whole ecosystem, not just Let's Encrypt. With their support, we're able to spend resources on operating multi-prospective validation, short-lived certificates, both important for security. IP address certificates are coming soon. I believe our team is actually planning to issue the first one we've ever issued this week, maybe next week, we'll see. That'll bring Let's Encrypt to a whole new use case. And the last point here is they've helped us a lot with memory safety. It's very important that Let's Encrypt be secure. Like a lot of other online services, and memory safety is a big issue there, and they've really helped us invest in fixing that stuff. So the web flirted with encryption for a long time. They really got serious in 2015, and this year's our 10th anniversary. I'm so proud of and thankful for what our staff, community, partners, funders have helped us accomplish over our first 10 years. It's an ambitious project. Definitely not not something that was destined to succeed. It worked because people believed in it and they pitched in. Anniversaries are a good time to reflect on what happened in the last 10 years, but we've sort of moved on already to thinking about what we're going to do in the next 10 years. And when I think about what we're going to do in the next 10 years, these are the topics that we spend the most time thinking about. So we're probably going to need to move from issuing 7 million certificates per day to about 100 million per day. Those are going to have shorter certificate lifetimes. Right now we're 90 days. We're going to move down to 6 soon, optionally, for a while at least. We're going to have to evolve cryptography, probably more post-quantum stuff coming down the pipeline. Like I mentioned before, we're going to try to go from 80 to 100% encryption, and we're going to invest a lot more in memory safety. We have another project that works a lot on this with Let's Encrypt called Prosimo, and hopefully this will help not just us, but other people who need to run secure online services. I'll be at the AWS open source booth at 11 o'clock, and I'd love to see you in chat. Thank you.